Hello, all performers. Hope this finds you well. I presented for a group of financial executives last night down here in Colorado at the University of Denver. Got in a really interesting conversation afterwards. Ended up sticking around for probably 20-25 minutes after everyone else had filed out of there. It was just me and two other people talking a little bit about parenting and a whole lot about resilience. And I'll give you kind of the background and the context of the conversation. A person that came up to me afterwards, and then another person that was just kind of eavesdropping. He has a son that is trying to become a black belt in Taekwondo, and he's right on the verge of becoming a black belt. And one of the last things that I'd referenced in my speech was a study, maybe you've heard me reference, by Marcus Buckingham, that was done in HBR, Harvard Business Review, that was done on resilience, that showed, it was done during the pandemic, largest global study ever done on resilience. And it basically identified that the most resilient people anywhere on the planet actually had the most exposure to suffering and had the most exposure to perceived threats and struggles and adversity going on in their life. So I'm talking to this person about his son and some of the struggles that he's going through, and he's really struggling to kind of break through and to get this black belt. And his dad was talking to me about it, and I'll be the first one to say, like, who in the heck am I to necessarily give parenting advice? I'm trying to figure this out just like you may be as well. But he was really talking about how he was struggling with it because he feels like he's failed his son a little bit because his son is struggling so much and is having a tough time kind of breaking through and getting this black belt. And he said, I'm really having a tough time with this. And he just said, one of the things that I'm trying so hard to do is I'm trying to create an easier life for my kids. And I said, I understand where you're coming from when you say that, but can I be completely honest with you here? You shouldn't want to be trying to create an easier life for your kids. You should be wanting to create a better life for your kids, right? Because everything that I know, and to go back to that HBR study, and everything that we know about resilience is when we get knocked down, we have to be able to get back up, but we don't always want to have to go through the part of getting knocked down to learn how to get back up. So when I hear that from time to time from parents or otherwise, that's like, okay, I want to create and I want to make an easier life for my kids. The way that I hear that, better, worse, or otherwise, is, okay, so you really want to raise some unresilient kids, because that's the unintended consequence and the byproduct of not letting them struggle with some things, of not letting them get knocked down to learn how to get back up. Now, you might be watching this video and you might be thinking, well, this is just everything. I'm only talking about parenting here. But quite honestly, professionally speaking, if you're leading a company, an organization, a team, a department, a division, or otherwise, and you're looking out at your team, I think there is a balance of letting them struggle and letting them get knocked down a little bit, so to speak, but also being there and quote unquote loving them through it, or being there and saying, hey, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to guide you through this. I'm never going to be far away, whether you're a leader, whether you're a parent, but also giving them the autonomy and giving them the ability to be able to go out there and to be able to struggle a little bit and to be able to actually cultivate that resilience that we all have inside of us. But it is never actually cultivated unless we have some exposure to struggling, to suffering, to threats, kind of, etc. So again, I think it's a really interesting way for us to look at resilience and look at potentially not only the way that we're parenting as we go through this thing called life, but also just the way that we're leading people in general of okay, I'm going to let you take your knocks a little bit. I'm going to let you get knocked down, but I'll be here for you and I'll support you and I'll love you through the part of getting back up. But the way that you're actually going to strengthen your character and strengthen your resolve is by taking some of these lumps from time to time, which we've all taken. And I'm not saying you need to love it in the moment, but it is something that ends up making us better in the long run, makes us more resilient, and helps us to be able to outperform personally, professionally, athletically, and otherwise. Thank you for watching this video. Keep outperforming, and as always, wishing you the best of health, happiness, and high performance. Have a great day.